Folks, dare I say it, that our country is run by one man called Cat Matlala. Cat Matlala, ladies and gentlemen, is the man who's running this country. And you ask me, what is the ANC's policy on crime control? I say, Cat Matlala. You ask me, what is the ANC's policy on border control? Dare I say, Cat Matlala. At the Madlanga Commission today, ladies and gentlemen, it was proven that there's a connection between Cat Matlala, the syndicate corrupt guy, and our Minister of Police, Mkunu. In the very same day, ladies and gentlemen, God has blessed us on this day, the 29th of September. We also had an SIU media briefing where it was exposed that over 2 billion was looted at the Tembisa Hospital. And Cat Matlala is the mastermind behind all of this. You are going to be shocked. You are going to be surprised in today's episode. And let us start with the connection that Cat Matlala has with Minister Mkunu.
Then starting from paragraph 80, as to the originality of the WhatsApp chats, these chats will provide, they were included in my affidavit, because they will provide the important context that is necessary for the Commission to know in order to understand the decision to disestablish the political killings task team, as well as the manner in which that decision was sought to be implemented by certain elements within the South African Police Service as well as the Ministry of Police.
Good.
When I touched on the modus operandi at high level of organized crime syndicates, we will find a clear corroboration as we go through these WhatsApp communications between Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala and various individuals, including politicians, members of the South African Police Service, as well as business persons.
This guy has South Africa by the scrotum like this.
The charts that I'll be taking the Commission through, I relied, that I'll rely on, were obtained from the two telephone devices seized from Mr. Matlala, as I've indicated, during his time of arrest. The extracted from the forensic image of the two devices, and they disclose direct communication and association between Mr. Matlala and several senior officials within SAPS.
Mkunu. You know, we can say allegedly whatever. This commission is going to prove it. So I'm not scared of being sued, because no suing is going to come. This is truth. This is Mkunu.
Within the business space, which have apparent connections to the Minister of Police, who is Mr. Brown Mukhosi, who is an acknowledged associate of the Minister of Police. And we are also going to have a look at a forensic investigator who is publicly recognized for his comments within the media space, and the records and investigations based on these records also is evidenced with payments made to these individuals by Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala.
Can you then, in paragraph 82, use...
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's a direct link and connection between our Minister of Police and Cat Matlala, and all of this evidence is going to be played at the commission. We are going to hear this evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is holding South Africa at ransom. I was listening to the SIU media briefing, and, you know, Ndlozi also posted on his Twitter. I'm not sure if you are able to see this. Let me bring this close. And put my face here. Okay? Because this is very important. It's very important that you see this. Tembisa Hospital, ladies and gentlemen, bear in mind that over 2 billion was looted over there. Under this man, Hangwani Maumela, who was awarding tenders to companies that are owned by Cat Matlala. And ladies and gentlemen, these people made over 816 million. 816 million from 1,728 transactions done through the 3-code system. 3 of the companies that were awarded contracts to the value of 13.5 million in the Maumela syndicate are linked to Mzansi Matlala. This guy made money by breaking down a Tembisa Hospital, by being involved in drugs, human trafficking, crime, cash in transits, extortion, you name it. This guy was there. So you ask me, what is the ANC's policy on crime prevention? Ladies and gentlemen, dare I say, Cat Matlala. It is Cat Matlala. His protection, everybody and the mama and everybody next and close to him, they are protecting Cat Matlala. This is their people. This is how they be making money. Paid 56 million in bribes to 32 accounts linked to GDOH, Tembisa Hospital officials. Everybody in the mama there was corrupt and taking bribes. That is what this is telling us, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Look at this, folks.
Viewing 1,728 bundles worth 816 million related to the Maumela syndicate and has completed to date 924 analyses, uncovering significant irregularities. So the SIU has traced about 41 suppliers or service providers linked to this Maumela syndicate. 3 of the companies that were awarded contracts to the value of 13,538,292 in this syndicate are linked to Mzansi Matlala. So,
Mzansi Cat Matlala, ladies and gentlemen, for those who haven't read the room already, dare I break it to you that this is the most powerful man in South Africa. My guy is a mafia boss. This is what is happening in South Africa. If you haven't awoken, if you are still a young youth, still asking yourself, why am I going to vote? You have to vote the ANC out. This is the country that they've given us. From 1994, this is the country that they've given us. They've broken down everything that works and empowered the most evil and corrupt in our society. This is what they've done. Cat Matlala is the most powerful man in South Africa. You're not going to convince me otherwise. You talk about Thabo Bester. Thabo Bester is just little fish. And he's even, associated with Cat Matlala, if you ask me. The reason why Thabo Bester is able to do the things that he's doing and move the way that he was moving, you remember, it was a whole hoo-ha with him and Nandip. The reason he was able to move like that was because he had the financial backing of his good old friend, Cat Mzansi Matlala. This is the man running this country. Folks, this is the last video. I need you to listen to this.
360 million rands. Apologies.
Thank you.
Commissioner. And the fourth picture is an unsuccessful attempt to prevent the SAPS from cancelling its contract with Medicare 24 Tshwane District.
Bro.
In pursuit of these goals, Mr. Mokhosi, in a mistaken belief that an investigation into Mr. Matlala was being conducted by the Political Killings Task Team, as pointed out above. It was actually that investigation conducted by the Gauteng counterintelligence. Mr. Mokhosi has pursued the disestablishment of the Political Killings Task Team, a mistaken identity. And then Secondly, he has specifically sought to find a means of having me subjected to a criminal and or disciplinary proceedings, including a somewhat comical attempt to rely on a December 2024 Constitutional Court judgment in State versus Makala, CCT number 237/2002, to have me disciplined for the conduct of a different Brigadier Khumalo, who was involved in that case, a Brigadier Mbuso Khumalo, who was then referred to on the record of proceedings on this case, and who Mr. Mukhozi apparently thought it was me or myself.
Remember how Mkunu said he has no association with Brown Mukhozi? Remember?
The second mistaken identity.
I also need to replay this so that you listen to the beginning about Medicare 24.
360 million rands. Apologies,
Thank you.
Commissioner. And the fourth one, the fourth picture, is an unsuccessful attempt to prevent the SAPS from cancelling its contract with Medicare 24 Tshwane District.
Medicare 24, ladies and gentlemen, owned by none other than Vusmusi Cat Matlala. Let me read this caption for you. It says, General Dumisani Khumalo tells the Madlanga Commission that Senzo Mkunu's alleged associate, Brown Mukhozi, tried and failed to stop SAPS from cancelling its contract with Medicare 24 owned by Vusmusi Cat Matlala. And we are still told that Mkunu has no association or no knowledge whatsoever of who Brown Mukhozi is. Ladies and gentlemen, dare I tell you again, Vusmusi Cat Matlala is the man he thinks he is, but not for a very long while. People love to think they can do as they please in this country, but this is a country of God. This is the great nation of the South. This country will stand up from the ashes, from the grasp of this evil. But for it to come back, we need each other. It is time for us to stop asking dumb questions about why should we vote. If you are still asking those questions, the time has left you really. You are not aware of what is happening in this country. And I cannot talk about how to solve it if people still don't understand the level of evil that we are confronted with in this country, the greatest nation of the South. It is in the hands, right now as we speak, of criminals. Vusmusi Cat Matlala might beat this. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is so powerful that a Jeffrey Epstein can happen. They can say this guy unalived himself, and just like that, he walks out scot-free. He has the money. He can go live with a different identity somewhere else. These are powerful people. These are the evil forces that we are faced and confronted with in South Africa, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you love my videos, if you enjoy this type of content where we expose corruption and the fruits of socialism, please hit the sub button, hit the like button, open your notifications so that you are notified every time we upload a new video. We the people see the truth. Your boy is out of here.